All right, so let's jump into this deep dive. Today, we are looking at how to make some smart money moves if you are in your 20s.
Yeah, really setting yourself up for success later on.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we're going to be taking a look at this video by Mark, who's an entrepreneur who built himself up from zero to millionaire status.
Wow.
And he's sharing his top purchases that he thinks people in their 20s should be making.
Yeah.
And while it's one person's perspective, it is full of some really actionable advice.
For sure.
So are you ready to unlock some serious financial wisdom?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, so Mark starts off strong by emphasizing the power of a side hustle.
Yeah.
He actually shares that he escaped a soul-crushing job making wooden trash cans
Wooden trash cans.
and flipping cars.
Wow, what a change.
Talk about a major career swerve, right?
Yeah, I think it's interesting that, he kind of highlights the importance of taking risks, particularly, when you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
It's a time to experiment,
Mm.
try new things and even fail a little bit, because failure is just another form of learning.
Absolutely. And I love how Mark emphasizes playing to your strengths. So it's not just about finding any side hustle. It's about finding one that actually aligns with, your passions and your talents.
Right.
Like maybe you're a coding whiz who can build websites on the side. Or maybe you're like a photography buff.
Yeah.
You can do, portraits or events or something.
Totally. And with, the creator economy booming right now,
Oh,
maybe you're like a natural teacher who could offer online tutoring or even make explainer videos.
yeah. Those are super popular.
Yeah, on like YouTube or something like that.
So this makes me wonder what unique skills or interests you have that you could potentially turn into a lucrative side hustle.
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what our listeners come up with.
Me too. I think, it's all about leveraging what you already enjoy doing, what you're good at.
Absolutely. Okay, moving on. Mark then dives into the world of investing, and his go-to recommendation is index funds, specifically the S&P 500.
Okay.
And he's a big fan of the set it and forget it approach,
Yeah.
and I can totally see why.
So for those of you who might not be familiar, an index fund is essentially like a basket of stocks,
Okay.
which makes it inherently less risky than just investing in one company.
Yeah.
It's like spreading your bets across hundreds of different businesses.
Okay, so kind of like diversifying.
Exactly.
And historically, the S&P 500 has shown like really impressive growth over the long term.
Yeah.
Mark even gives this like really powerful example. Investing just $200 a month could potentially grow to over $2 million in 45 years.
Wow.
That's a serious chunk of change.
That is. And that brings us to the beauty of compound interest.
Yes.
It's essentially earning interest on your interest.
Yeah.
So, your money multiplies exponentially over time.
Okay, so it just kind of snowballs.
And grows and grows.
Yeah. Now, Mark doesn't just stop at invest in index funds. He actually gets into the nitty-gritty of how to invest, specifically recommending Roth IRAs or ISAs, which he calls chicken fortresses.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so visual. So essentially, these accounts shield your earnings from taxes,
Okay.
which lets your investments grow even faster.
Okay, so this next piece of advice might seem a little bit counterintuitive at first. Mark actually suggests buying a plane ticket.
Really?
Yeah, you heard that right.
Interesting.
He actually credits his early travel experiences with like boosting his confidence and expanding his network,
Okay.
which ultimately led to some incredible business opportunities.
Yeah, I can actually see that, traveling pushes you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It exposes you to different cultures,
Yeah,
different perspectives,
totally.
and can really spark some creativity.
Absolutely. And Mark even has a strategy for making travel more affordable.
Oh,
He's a big fan of using credit card points strategically.
ooh, that's smart.
Of course, this only works if you are responsible with credit. Yeah.
And pay your balances in full to avoid those interest charges.
Right. Building good credit is crucial, especially in your 20s.
Yeah.
It affects everything from getting loans to renting an apartment.
Yeah, for sure.
And a strong credit score can save you a ton of money in the long run.
Absolutely. Okay, let's switch gears to a topic that's near and dear to my heart, education.
Okay.
Mark is a huge advocate for continuous learning, but he warns against falling for those get-rich-quick schemes you see out there.
Right.
He emphasizes finding value in genuine knowledge and skills development, whether it's through, online courses, books, or even free resources like YouTube.
I think it's all about recognizing that learning is an investment in yourself.
For sure.
And it can pay off in so many ways, from opening up, new career opportunities to just, expanding your understanding of the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He even shares this really valuable lesson from the classic personal finance book, Think and Grow Rich,
Oh, yeah.
emphasizing the importance of goal setting. and having a clear plan.
I love that he highlights this book because it's so inexpensive, but it's packed with insights that can truly change your trajectory.
It's a reminder that valuable knowledge doesn't always have to come with a hefty price tag.
Totally.
Yeah. And it raises a question for our listeners. What skills or knowledge could you invest in to actually boost your earning potential?
That's a great question. Maybe there's a field that you've always been interested in,
Yeah,
or a skill you'd love to master. Now's the perfect time to invest in yourself.
for sure.
What do you think?
One area where continuous learning can really pay off is in real estate.
Oh, okay.
Mark actually shares his own experience with property investment, and it's pretty inspiring.
Okay.
So he bought a place for $100,000 in his 20s,
Hmm.
and it's now worth over $500,000.
Whoa. Talk about a solid return on investment.
Right.
What's his secret?
Well, he emphasizes the power of leverage. So it's like using a small amount of your own money to control a much larger asset, which in this case is a property. And that property then, has the potential to generate rental income and appreciate in value over time.
Oh, so you're making money in two ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Giving you a significant return on that initial investment.
That makes a lot of sense. I remember Mark also talking about house hacking, which sounds like a pretty clever strategy.
It is. It's a popular way to kind of get your foot in the door when it comes to real estate.
Yeah.
This basically involves renting out rooms in your house or buying a duplex and living in one unit while renting out the other.
Oh.
And the rental income helps cover your mortgage payments and sometimes even completely offsets them.
Oh, wow. That's brilliant. And for those who aren't quite ready to commit to buying a property, there's always the option of becoming an Airbnb host.
It's a great way to tap into the sharing economy and, generate some passive income.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, with real estate, it's always crucial to do your research,
Yes.
understand those local market conditions before making any big moves. All right, let's shift gears and talk about cars. Now, Mark has a pretty interesting story about this. He admits to making a classic rookie mistake early on, buying a flashy Ford RS Turbo.
Oh, yeah. It's a
That-
common trap to fall into,
Yeah.
especially when you're young.
Yeah,
Maybe feel the pressure to keep up with the Joneses.
for sure.
But as Mark learned, that shiny new car can quickly become a financial burden.
And here's the kicker. His car got stolen. And believe it or not, he says it was a blessing in disguise.
Really?
I know, right?
Well,
It forced him to reevaluate his priorities and recognize those hidden costs of owning an expensive car.
yeah, like depreciation,
Yeah.
which is basically the value of the car going down over time,
Right.
potential debt from car loans,
Yeah.
and the opportunity cost of having all that money tied up in a depreciating asset when it could be invested elsewhere.
Right. It's so funny how sometimes like a negative event can lead to a positive shift in perspective. And I love how Mark contrasts the stress of owning a fancy car with the freedom and peace of mind that comes from having just like a cheap, reliable vehicle.
Yeah.
He even jokes about his like beige Peugeot,
Uh-huh.
saying no one's ever tried to steal one of those.
I can see that.
Right.
There's definitely something to be said for simplicity and practicality,
For sure.
especially when it comes to finances.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some exceptions. If a car is like essential for your business or offers, significant tax advantages,
Right.
it might make sense to invest in a higher end vehicle. Like Mark's son, Kurt, who drives a Tesla, which he can write off as a business expense.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's move on to a topic that's been generating a ton of buzz lately, Bitcoin.
Ooh,
It's had an incredible run over the past decade, and it's definitely become like a popular investment, especially amongst, younger generations.
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, while the potential for gains is undeniably enticing,
Yeah.
I think it's crucial to approach cryptocurrency with a balanced perspective. It's a highly volatile market.
Yeah.
Prices can fluctuate dramatically.
Yeah.
And it's still a relatively new asset class, so there's a lot of uncertainty.
Right. Mark actually shares this kind of cautionary tale about a Dogecoin millionaire who made huge gains initially,
Oh, wow.
but then experienced significant losses when the market took a downturn.
Oof, yeah.
So it's a good reminder that even with seemingly fun cryptocurrencies, there's still inherent risk involved.
For sure. Diversification is key,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to volatile assets like crypto.
Mm.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they say.
Right.
And only invest what you can afford to lose.
Absolutely. Solid advice. One thing that really struck me about Mark's approach to financial success is that it's not just about the numbers.
Yeah.
He also emphasizes the importance of investing in your health.
Oh, for sure.
He talks about burning out in his 20s
Yeah.
and how that experience taught him the value of taking care of himself, both physically and mentally.
That's such an important point. Physical and mental well-being are directly linked to productivity,
Yeah,
creativity, and overall success in life.
absolutely.
It's like laying the foundation for a healthy and sustainable financial future.
I couldn't agree more. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to prioritize our well-being, especially in our 20s. But as Mark's story shows, taking care of yourself is not a luxury.
Right.
It's an investment that pays off in every aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious, what are some ways you invest in your own health and well-being?
Yeah, that is a great question. Um, you know, for me, I think it's about finding that balance between hustling and having time for things that I truly enjoy,
Yeah.
like, hiking or trying new recipes or just spending time with friends and family.
Right.
It's easy to get caught up in that go, go, go mentality,
Sure.
but taking time to recharge is so essential.
And it's not just about relaxation.
Right.
It's about making those conscious choices that actually nourish, your mind and body.
Yeah. Maybe it's, getting enough sleep or, eating nutritious foods,
Yeah.
finding an exercise routine you love, or even practicing like mindfulness or meditation.
Right.
It really looks different for everyone,
Yeah.
but the key is to actually prioritize your well-being.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Mark's financial wisdom, I'm curious, what are some key takeaways that resonated with you?
Hmm. For me, it's that emphasis on long-term thinking and strategic decision-making.
Yeah.
It's not about chasing those quick wins or trying to get rich quick.
Right.
It's about making those smart choices today that set you up, for financial freedom and abundance in the future.
I totally agree. And I love how Mark highlights the importance of diversifying your income streams,
Yeah.
whether it's through a side hustle investing or exploring passive income opportunities like real estate
Sure.
or Airbnb hosting. It's about creating multiple avenues for financial stability and growth.
Right. And let's not forget the power of investing in yourself through continuous learning. Knowledge and skills, those are assets that appreciate over time.
Totally.
And they make you more valuable, in the marketplace
Right.
and open up new possibilities.
So true. It's about becoming like a lifelong learner,
Yeah.
always seeking, new knowledge, challenging yourself to grow. And I think Mark's story is such a testament to the fact that it's never too late to make a change, learn something new, and create the financial future you desire.
Exactly. So as we leave our listeners with some food for thought, I have a question for them. What one small step can you take today, based on what we've talked about, to start building your financial future?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be a huge leap. Even a small step in the right direction can make a big difference over time.
absolutely.
It could be like researching side hustle ideas,
Yeah.
setting up a Roth IRA, checking out a personal finance book from the library,
Yeah,
or even just committing to learning one new skill this month.
totally.
The possibilities really are endless.
They are. And remember, even small, consistent actions can lead to remarkable results over time. So take that first step today and keep moving forward.
Yes. Your future self will thank you.
Absolutely.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive for today.
Great conversation.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.